Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolfe Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Have you ever wondered what foods, or wanted to try the foods, our brave US military armed forces eat while defending and protecting our country? Well, today I'm going to find out and try my first MRE, or meal ready to eat. The beef enchilada meal I have today is from menu 15 that's almost 10 years old. I don't know a whole lot about MREs or how long they last, but I know Steve from Steve 1989 and Emmy from Emmy Made in Japan have eaten many MREs much older than this one, and they're still kicking. So I think I'll probably be alright. Click on the links above and check out their channels for a lot more entertaining and educational MRE videos. Now I'm excited, so let's open up our almost 10-year-old beef enchilada MRE and see what's inside. I felt like a little kid on Christmas morning. I couldn't wait to get into this. As I've seen, and I'm sure most of you have seen, MREs come in this Kevlar-like plastic. I mean, this plastic would probably survive anything. Once you get it out of the bulletproof plastic, everything is sealed together again in another thin layer of plastic. Once everything's unwrapped, let's go over the contents. The first thing we have is a hot beverage bag, which would be great for coffee or tea. A flameless MRE heater bag. A little packet of ground red pepper. Gotta always spice things up. A packet of tropical punch drink mix. I'm not going to go over the nutritional facts of each individual item like I normally do. I'll try to add them all up at the end and see how many calories, etc. this meal has total. They give you a nice sturdy spoon, but as we all know, it's no comparison to the plasticine. There's only one plasticine. Here's a packet of cheese spread with jalapenos. Feels kind of hard. Picante sauce. Man, they thought about everything for a nice hearty Mexican feast in the field. Big old vegetable crackers. Here's a packet of miscellaneous items we'll go over later, but it looks like it's got coffee, sugar, and creamer and some other stuff in it. A packet of creamsicle cookies. When I was a kid, orange cream popsicles, that was my favorite. If these cookies taste half as good as those popsicles, I'm in for a treat. Now we're getting to the good stuff, with some refried beans. On the back of the refried beans, it gives you a force multiplier chart that shows you the vitamins and minerals in the MREs. And finally, here's our beef enchilada entree. Uh-oh, I see my nemesis, textured vegetable protein. But I'm keeping an open mind here, and I'll ignore it for now. Because the United States Armed Forces eats this for us, the people, so we don't have to. I, for one, am very grateful that they eat this for us, but also very thankful for their service to our country. If you're also thankful and support our troops, hit that like button, and let's see if we can get at least 10,000 likes on this video in support of our troops. On the back, they give you some do's and don'ts for cold weather nutrition. So let's get our heater bag ready and heat up our meal. Pull the enchilada packet out of the box, tear the top off the heater bag, slide the enchilada into the bag, then with the heater pad on the bottom, add about an ounce of water, and that'll activate the heat. And it did, immediately. Then fold the top over to seal the bag. Then slide the sealed bag back in the box. Then you're supposed to prop it up at an angle on a rock or something, but I didn't have any rocks laying around my house, so I used a water bottle instead, without really thinking, hey dummy, this is gonna get hot. A plastic bottle probably isn't the best thing to use. But it ended up working just fine. While the enchilada was heating up, I made the tropical punch drink. The mix looks and smells like Kool-Aid. Of course I gotta use a red Solo cup. Well, it's not really a Solo cup. It's a generic plastic cup. I'm not only lazy, I'm cheap. Add the mix and 12 ounces of water. Then give it a good mix with your spoon. And it's actually pretty tasty. It's not overly sweet like Kool-Aid. I like it. Of course I'm going to eat dessert first. I never was allowed to when I was a kid. Now I'm going to do it every chance I get. And like I said, it felt like the cookie was broken, but it's actually small cookies. I thought it was just one big cookie. But they are indeed a little bit broken up. They look like little sugar cookies with a little speck of orange flavoring in the middle. I didn't really taste any orange or cream flavor. Basically a slightly sweet and somewhat stale cookie. They're not too bad, but not too great either. Next I tried the vegetable crackers. There were two nice big, fairly thick crackers in there. They looked like saltines on steroids. They're very firm and dense, nice and crunchy. The flavor was pretty good, but they could have used some more salt like on saltines. But overall, they're pretty good. So open up the cheese spray with jalapenos to try it on the crackers. The packet felt really hard, so I needed it for a good 3 to 4 minutes. So I wasn't too sure about the integrity of the cheese spread. Yeah buddy, that looked more like chunky peanut butter than cheese spread. It was very dry and a bit discolored in certain spots. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. It smelled okay, but I wasn't going to take any chances and I opted out of tasting the cheese spread. I'm not as brave as Steve and Emmy. But I did make sure I saved the other cracker. Here's a possible mistake on my part. I didn't think about it at the time, but I should have crammed in the refried beans into the bag with the enchilada to heat up. But I ended up taking the refried beans out of the box and placed it under the heater bag, and it got them fairly warm. Once I squeezed all the refried beans out like a tube of toothpaste, I saw something that kind of concerned me. But I wasn't sure if the spot was possible mold or the skin from a bean. I think I was just being paranoid since the food is 10 years old. Since I didn't see any more, I scooped it out and reluctantly gave them a try. And they smelled good, and they tasted good. I felt safe enough at this point that I went in and had another bite, and it was as good, or better, than the first one. Pretty darn good refried beans. Now let's get our enchilada out of the box. And then out of the bag. And that was pretty darn hot too. That heater bag really works pretty good. Maybe for the next MRE video, I'll have one of those fancy shiny trays rather than my cheap foam plates. Now there's the enchilada, and I was expecting a blended concoction like you get in a can. These look like 10 years ago, they might have been the real deal. And I've got to say, these looked and smelled pretty darn good. But looks are deceiving. The tortilla was really thick and had a texture like styrofoam. I didn't like it at all. But the flavor of the first bite was pretty good. Then I tried the meat mixture on its own without the tortilla. And wow, was it awful. The texture was really bad. Let's try the pecani sauce and then try a bite or two of the enchilada with the pecani sauce and see if it helps it any. And the pecani sauce was a little bit sweet, not a lot of heat, it wasn't too bad. but it didn't really help the enchilada at all. Like I said, the flavor of the enchilada was pretty good, but the texture was really bad. I don't know if that has something to do with it being old, or if that's what it's supposed to be like. Now here's a little packet from the beginning, and it has coffee, creamer, sugar, toilet paper, a wet wipe, matches, salt, and gum. It's the small things in life that matter, right? Now for the nutrition facts in the whole MRE packet. There's 910 calories, 41 grams of total fat, 16.5 grams of saturated fat, 3.5 grams of trans fat, 40 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,425 milligrams of sodium, 124 carbohydrates, 10 grams of dietary fiber, 39 grams of sugars, and 17 grams of protein. If you'd like to help support the Wolfe Pit, please consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. That's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more. That's up to you. But every little bit is appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.